Coach Kelly's a genius. I think he's a genius. He's a special person. He really is. I think him and some other guys, but I think him in particular has pretty much revolutionized college football. And everybody else is trying to either keep up or copy. Hello, my name is Keith Belton. I serve as the Director of Strength and Conditioning here at UCLA Football. I've been in this business for 13 years. I've been in just about every conference in college football from the ACC. I played in the old Big East, played at Syracuse when it was the real Big East, and now I'm here in the Pac-12, and I've been across the Pac-12. I've been blessed to have a phenomenal staff. Corey Miller, he came here from Ole Miss. I met him when he was at the University of South Carolina. And he particularly works for the offensive line and defensive line. Coach Adrian Briones, he came here from Prairie View and Houston Baptist, and he was at USC as well. He's a good friend of mine, and he works primarily with the outside linebackers, inside linebackers, and tight ends. And then Diamond Simmons, he came to us from UNLV and also from Missouri. And he works with all the skilled guys, so that's the wide receivers and the running backs and the DBs, and he's the perfect fit for him. He got the perfect personality for it. And then obviously you got Coach Christian Buchanan, he's the Army Swiss knife. He works with everybody, the mids, the bigs, the skills, and he also oversees our sports science department. So he was one heck of a coach. And his specific group mainly is the return to play guys, so he works closely with the athletic trainers as well as the specialists. So that's the immediate squad, but then we have interns, and they do a fantastic job. I actually hate the word intern. I call them special assistants. And right now, as we speak, they're breaking down, they're cleaning up, they're making sure everything is getting prepped for tomorrow. And they're really the ones that make this thing go. So I always say, if you want to have a really, really good program, go get you some really, really, really good special assistants. And these guys and girls have been amazing for the past 3 years since I've been here. Obviously, our number one job is to keep them healthy, keep them strong, keep them resilient, and keep them on the field. And a lot goes into that as well. As we all know, Coach Kelly he's at the forefront of everything we do. So it's no secrets. Obviously, sports science is huge in what we do, and how we program, how we use our progressions, and how we kind of forecast things out. I think the number one component to what we do here is we really educate the importance of sleep and the education of the importance of nutrition. So by the time we put sports science together, education on sleep and the education on nutrition, that makes for a pretty good sports program.
I'd say the biggest difference is kind of the attention to detail compared to high school to college. Like high school, you come in, like the only thing they emphasize is like working hard. But I feel like when you get to college and a place like UCLA, working hard is expected. And we try to focus on the things, not just in training, but outside of training, like our sleep, our rest, our nutrition. So just being detailed in the things we do is the biggest difference.
I see them more as mentors and leaders rather than coaches. I think they do everything great. I mean, they're so focused on getting us better and caring for us and making sure that we have everything we need to be successful at UCLA and in life. We have a thing called Friday Talks with Coach Miller. Kind of sit around, we talk about different topics that's going on in the world and anything that we want to talk about. And I think they do a great job of connecting with the players and making sure that we have everything we need.
I would say the biggest difference between our program and every other program is just being genuine, and just the coaches really caring about their players, really being genuine towards them. I would describe the staff as very giving and very unselfish. They spend a lot of time focusing on us. You know, they're in here every day from, sunrise to sunset.
For me, I feel like the best case scenario, or the best analogy I can put it, I feel like my body when I first got here was soft, but now it's harder. Coming out of high school, I wasn't really the biggest guy. I was maybe 260 out of high school. So I was kind of banking on like a good college, a good strength program to kind of get me ready. And I came to UCLA and I feel like they met what I wanted to do for myself, and they actually exceeded those levels, I guess, or expectations. So yeah, they just put an emphasis and like, you really got to focus on the training part more than the football part if you really want to play this game.
The relationships I have with these guys, it's fun. It's not always smiles and high fives. There's a lot of tough love, but that's where the level of intention comes in. Being intentional, being consistent, and understanding that some people it takes 20 steps, some people it takes 30 steps, some people it just takes that one interactive. But these is where the different personalities come in, and understanding the personnel, the units, their energy, their culture as themselves, the culture of the units, and really fine-pinning those things. The culture here, I'm gonna tell you, the honest truth, this is honestly, I'm not saying this because Coach Kelly or Coach KB, this is the honest truth. This is the healthiest, most freelance environment I've ever worked in my entire career. We could be who we are. When it's time for work, it's time for work. When it's time for home, it's time for home. So there's a great balance. This environment, this culture that Coach Kelly has created is the best I've ever been a part of in my 16 years.
Well, it's like we say at church, we want to be disciplined, detailed in everything we do, right? Want to make sure we focus on the little things, because the little things lead up to the big things. But more so is we want to make sure that we build a relationship with these guys. We want them to know that first we there for them as humans. We want them to make sure they know that we not only want them to be good on the field, but we want them to be good in life. So everything we do is about relationship. Once again, relationship. Our guys know that we care about them. It's cool to catch a ball and run the football, but at the end of the day, if we're not developing men and making sure that they do the things right, such as making sure they're in breakfast check-in or whatever it may be, right? Make sure they do those things right to help them prepare for life. So those are the things that we really harp on here.
I think what really separates UCLA is obviously Coach Chip Kelly. Everybody knows he's a mastermind, but I think as a strength staff with our sports science equipment, what we'll do is it's really individualized. What I noticed at other schools that I've been at myself and the other coaches have been at, they're not really using it. It's a selling point for those schools. I would say UCLA, it's really individualized, and our guys, they have the data in their phone. So a senior, he can look back to his freshman year and really see all of his data from his freshman year. And what we'll do is we'll watch guys' habits, whether it's sleep, hydration, their high-speed distance, their max velocities. We'll track them over time. So what'll happen is we're trying to jump ahead of these injuries that occur, these soft tissue injuries, these chronic training injuries. So just nipping things in the bud, just knowing what the habits are, just keeping on top of the guys, just say, hey, you got 6 hours of sleep last night, what's the problem? And our guys here, they know that's not punishment. They know we're trying to help them and grow as an individual. And I think once they do leave UCLA, they're in a much better spot to when they do go to that next level, or they do go into their next job outside of football. They have much better habits built up because they've seen all their data and they've been on top of it for 4 years.
Coach Kelly's a genius. I think he's a genius. I think he's a genius not only as far as the way he thinks and the way he processes stuff, and I still don't understand it all, right? But I think he's a genius by how he built the staff. I just think his day-to-day and how he operates is the most efficient way that you can get things done. And he always thinks about the student athlete first. When you think about the way we develop and the way we train, it's people across the country, across the world still trying to figure it out, right? We had a 3.2 GPA, which was the highest as far as football, probably in the history of the school. And we still won 9 games, and we're not sacrificing anything, right? He's a special person, he really is. I think him and some other guys, but I think him in particular has pretty much revolutionized college football. And everybody else is trying to either keep up or copy.